Hey guys, today I'm going to do some hard data collecting. Happy Valentine's Day. So I'm going to use the Maximo app so that way I can keep track of the distance, the pay per hour, and the mileage pay. This is the app that every driver should be using. Maximo. Download it now for Android today. Okay, so I want to share with you this news coverage of the Valentine's Day strike. And I really want you to listen to the part where she's covering Uber and Lyft. What they're saying our active hourly is, it's really pathetic. And one, it's crazy because Uber is definitely lying. And then on the other hand, you have Lyft, and Lyft is basically saying that we're making like 23.50 an hour after expenditures. Even if that was true, 23.50 an hour is garbage for an independent contractor. We shouldn't be making a 23.50 hourly rate wage. I can't believe these companies. So this is what I want to share with you to set the tone before I show you all the hard data collecting I've been doing all day. Like the clip I have is just short, but I've been doing more than just I think what I have like a half hour. Okay, here's the clip. Enjoy, guys.
Yeah, good morning. Uber and Lyft drivers are expected to hold a day-long strike at several major airports across the country, including Philadelphia, Chicago, also in Austin. At LAX, they're expected to protest for a couple of hours this afternoon. As for Long Beach, we're still waiting to hear, but the organization behind the strike says that the rideshare apps are essentially mobile sweatshops and that things need to change. As you can imagine, both Uber and Lyft are denying that. They both said in statements that they don't expect the strikes to have much of an impact on services. Uber saying that's because most of its drivers are satisfied and that they average about $33 an hour, but did not say if that factored in costs like gas. Lyft also defended its practices and has announced its drivers will make 70% of their fares each week, adding that after expenses on average, its drivers make almost $23.50 per quote engaged hour, including tips and bonuses. But the statement did not specify what they mean by engaged. A spokesperson for Justice for App Workers says drivers are often working 60 to 80 hours a week. The organization says it represents 130,000 ride-hailing and delivery workers. They're seeking higher wages, access to health care, and an appeals process so the companies can't deactivate drivers without warning. Uber says it already allows drivers to dispute deactivations. Justice for App Workers says drivers were inspired by the United Auto Workers strike earlier this year. That actually ended up getting workers significant raises and gains, and they're hoping to do the same for Uber.
Okay, so you heard that, guys. Uber claims 33-hour average, and then Lyft claiming 23.50 after expenditures for engaged hours. For one, $33 an hour average is total BS. Even if you put the operating cost on top of that, which they didn't clarify in their statement. Let's say you're making roughly $27 an hour, which is still false. All these orders coming through are roughly about around the $20 an hour average. And then same for Lyft. 23.50 for an independent contractor is utter garbage. Why are we making 23.50 an hour average after expenditures? That doesn't make any sense. Employees make that dollar amount. Why is independent contractors making that while they're taking all the money? That doesn't make any sense. And at the end of it, they're exploiting us. They're breaking our independent contractor rights. They shouldn't be doing that. That's the stuff that needs to be in the news coverage. So next, I'm going to do the raw data for about, I think, 35 minutes. So I don't know if it's going to be boring, but we're raw data of Valentine's Day, all the trips that were coming through. All right, first one, 1163. We have about 10 miles. Trip radar, whoopee. where everything goes to die. I wanted to add a side note. I thought music was recording on here, but for some reason it didn't record. So when I talk about the music, nothing's happening. Look, it's actually surging today. I never see surge anymore. So maybe the protest did something, the strike did something. Bear with me, guys. It does pick up. $39.49 for about 54 miles. Why is the dollar amount you're getting paid less than your mileage? We're not employees. Look at that, $26.40 an hour. 73 cents a mile. We should be getting paid $2.50 in this county. Any professional gets paid more like that. Any real independent contractor gets paid more like that. It picks up, I swear, guys. Just bear with me. All right, 1361 for 13.8 miles. It's roughly $1 a mile. Still not enough. Here we go, 13.7 miles for $22.80. 96 cents a mile. Missed that one. All right, here we go. So this one is 5 miles at $6.59. 25.80 hourly. So Uber. You know, if you keep that in mind, that 33-hour average, where is this 33 average? Look at this one, 1566, 17.8 miles, 25.80 average hour. Yeah. Got Lyft of $4 for 3.3 miles, $20 an hour. That's not even Lyft's quote unquote 2350 engaged hours after expenditures. After expenditures, so that's like $15 an hour. This is the stuff that needs to go on the news. Why is this data not being put on the news? I need to collect as much data as possible and somehow contact the news to get them to air this stuff. You know, I'm not the only one that has this data. And I've obviously these companies are going to backpedal and lie through their teeth. Nothing new, you know. 2110 or 21, basically 22. What is that? 22.3 miles, roughly 30.60 an hour, but still less than $1 a mile. 585, 4.3 miles, 2280 per hour average. Where's your 2350 after expenditures Lyft? 3.3 miles for 485. Says 2640. Dollar per miles is better. But we need like 250 in this industry. 250 is what we need. If we're professional drivers, we need $2.50 a mile. $13.65 at 16.5 miles, 26.40 an hour average, less than $1 a mile. How come we get a variable pay per mileage? What is that? That is a way for these companies to make as much money as possible between short rides and long rides. That's what that is. Short rides, $1 a mile average pay to the driver. Long rides, more towards 50 cents a mile. 11.45. What's this one? $6 at 7.7 miles. 18.95 per active hour. There's one coming up. I don't know if this is it. 15.17 for 22.1 miles, $22.20 average hour. There is one coming up. It's basically, I think it's 16.50. I just can't believe it because minimum wage is 16 even, and that's less than their 120% of minimum wage, which is I think 19.50 if I remember correctly. All right, $7 and comes out to 8.8 miles, 24.71 hourly average. Still after expenditures, what's that? 1971 just about. That's a little bit more than the Prop 22 money. Right, $7.01, 6.6 miles, 27.60 average. Honestly, some of these orders seem higher than normal. Maybe because people are striking today and there's less drivers out there, but I do notice a difference. But I did notice today there was a lot of surging going on. You never see surges anymore. So that's new. I assume maybe less drivers on the road. $5.59, and it's 9.4 miles, and the average is $16.20. Minimum wage is 16 an hour. So 20 cents over minimum wage. And then it's like, oh, it's okay. You're going to get Prop 22 money. It's going to be 1950. Whoopee. We're not fucking employees. Look at this one. This one's horrible too. I'm pretty sure I get it right here. Yeah, look at 4155, 59.8 miles. Average is 3240. Because you're running all freeways, so it seems better. But look at 69 cents a mile. That is pathetic. Employees of driving jobs get paid between 50 cents a mile and $1 a mile. So like there's no reason why we should be getting paid that dollar amount. 250 a mile and up is what we should be getting paid. We should be getting paid the same as all the taxi rates in every county. So in San Bernardino County, it's $2.50 a mile, and wait time is like $30 or $40 an hour. That's what we should be getting paid. Look at these, 562 for almost 20 minutes. It's pathetic. There's no love for us on Valentine's Day. $9.41, 10.8 miles, 29.40 hourly average, 0.87 cents a mile. All right, this one 1033 at 11 miles, 25.80 average after expenditures, roughly about 20 bucks an hour. Thanks, Uber. Where is your 33 active hour? I hope you guys like the music. I was trying to have something to fill in the gaps. You know, this is a long video, data collecting. It's a lot. I hope the audio quality is better. With everybody subscribing and liking, it's gotten me to be able to buy equipment. You know, pushing me in that direction. All right, here we go. 998, 10.5 miles, 2580 roughly active hours, and it comes out to, let's say, about 20 bucks an hour after expenditures. $5.81 for 14 minutes for this one. It disappeared. Somebody grabbed it probably. Maybe not. No, I got it. All right, so 24, what was it, 81? I didn't see that. Passed up too quick. But it looked like there was a lot more rides today. I call them orders. I don't mean food. When I say orders, I mean rides. But if you see on the right, it is surging over there. So right here, I was stuck in traffic making my way home, and same thing as I've been doing all day, letting the app give me rides and then or offers, and I'm just letting it count down, collecting that data, exposing these companies for their deceit. All right, $8.15, 10 miles and 10.8 miles, 21.26 average. So that's about 16.26 an hour after expenditures. Right around minimum wage. Lyft drivers making a minimum wage. Whoopee. All right, we have a 502, 25.10 average, 6.5 miles. So roughly $20 an hour average after expenditures. This one, $21.16, 33.8 for the distance. If this was a regulated job, we would be getting paid $60 to $75 minimum instead of $21. We're getting paid like 1/3 of what this job is worth with these companies. 1/3 less. $7, 22.11 per active hour. This type of job, we would normally in a regulated industry get paid roughly about $21 instead of 7. And after expenditures for that one with Uber or Lyft, it's going to be about $17. Thanks, Lyft, for your $17 average after expenditures. That does not compare to what you said on that news broadcast of 2350 engaged hours after expenditures. We all heard it. Lying through your teeth. All right, 608. This on a regulated market would be roughly about $15 pay. With Lyft, after expenditures, $15 an hour, less than minimum wage. That's what these companies are doing. They're just trying to pay us basically Prop 22 money on a minimum. We're not employees. We are independent contractors. We're supposed to delegate our own fee and the way we operate. That is California law. And that is probably the same law in every other state. They're exploiting hardworking people around the globe. This is an epidemic. I just hate how some people are like, well, if it's that bad, just go get another job. Well, it's not that simple. If it was that simple, everybody would just leave. Some people are trapped. Some people, to look for a job, that's a full-time job. And if you're having a hard time making income with the job that you're doing and you have to work slave for 12 hours to try making a livable income, even though it's still not enough, when do you have time to really just up and look for another job? It's not that easy. That's where the exploitation comes in. We're stuck. So I got myself a new audio mixer and I really love it because I'm able to have my voice in, and every time I speak, it lowers the volume of my music. So I think that is really neat. It's able to add more to my videos. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how this comes out after the recording. I have actually 36 minutes of or not audio, of video recording for both apps. So I don't know if I'm going to do the full 36 minutes or if I'm going to cut it at 30. Yeah, I'll probably just cut it at 30. It's hard, I got other things I got to get done today. This music's really nice though. It's on Spotify. It's called Classical Bangers. One of my favorites to listen to. A lot of my customers enjoy it. All right, we're getting another one right here. 1855 comes out to 2580 average, 22.6 for the distance. If this was a regulated job, we would be getting paid roughly $50 instead of $18. $50 is what that's worth, not 18. We are not employees. Look at that, roughly 20 minutes for $7. That would average about 21 active hours, about 16 after expenditures. 2685 at 37.50 for the distance. That's how bad that is. 71 cents a mile. Horrible. That one right there would be roughly $80 to $100 if we were regulated by the taxi rates. What's going to happen is either A, the government's going to have to force these companies to actually abide by independent contractor laws, or force them to make us employees, or the other route is for them to regulate these companies to force them to pay us, let's say $2.50 in a mile and $30-$40 in wait time, just like a taxi would. My hope is that they will enforce them for all taxi regulations per county, because per county has different regulations. So like San Bernardino County, it's $2.50 a mile at, I believe, $30-$40 an hour in wait time. And then I think like LA, I think it's like $3.50 maybe a mile. So like you could only imagine how much more money you would make doing this type of job. If we had a free market where we could compete and have our own pricing, we would make so much more money than this suppression. They are suppressing us. So that way we have to slave and work constantly because we make them money. Without us, they don't make money. And they want us out here to slave away. They want us to keep working. They don't want us to make the money that we need to pay our bills. Because then if we did, we would just go home. They don't want that. They don't give two shits about us. It's apparent with everything they do. They keep updating their app to swindle us. This type of job is so straightforward. Connecting a customer to an independent contractor. That's it. All of our customers are, or all of the customers are our customers, and we are Uber's customer. It's just bullshit. I'm so mad at the government for allowing this to go on for so long. One of their jobs is to protect us against big corporations like this, and they're not doing it. All right, so I think 30 minutes is good enough. I'm running up on 30. So, anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this hard data collecting on Valentine's Day. We saw some pretty bad ones out there. That $16.20 active hour average, horrible, complete garbage. This is the stuff that I need to take pictures of and somehow contact a news, what is it called? A news whatever they're called. Man, I can't even think right now. A news outlet, and show them this hard data so they could blast it all over the TV and the internet and everywhere. Like, there's no way these companies can backpedal this hard data if a news channel cover it. But to that, guys, I hope you have an awesome day with your loved ones. This is Tesla Mike. I'm out. Please like, subscribe. When you guys do so, it helps me get more drive to buy the right equipment to make my channel more niche. And I really appreciate your guys' support. This does take good effort on my part. And I appreciate you guys. So you guys have an awesome Valentine's Day. Bye, guys.